And that is all she wrote. The Warriors, for the 5th time in their franchise history, will head to the Western Conference Finals, and for the 2nd time, they go to the Western Conference Finals in back-to-back seasons.
Very tough series. Obviously, people are looking, say 4-1. It was pretty easy, but it wasn't. That's one of the toughest series I've ever played. A lot of respect for that ball club. Those guys continue to fight. They're well coached, and they're very disciplined. They had low turnovers the entire game, entire series, which allows them to be in every single game. Having 2 scorers like Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, and then having a bunch of guys stepping up huge like Aminu and Mo Harkless and Allen Crabbe, all those guys who, stepped up the entire series. It made the series tough, and Ed Davis, Mason Plumlee, those guys stepped up. And so, it was a very tough series, but it was a fun one to play in. And I think, that series right there that we just played in will help us down the line, for these next, hopefully 2 series. It's series like that where you build character and you build confidence and, you figure out more things that you can do and you get better. So, it's a fun series to play in, but I'm happy it's over because it was a tough one. And, obviously going back to the Western Conference Finals is exciting. That's something that we don't take for granted because we know how tough it is. Example being how tough it was to get through this series to be in this position to go back to the Western Conference Finals. So very excited. I'm looking forward to finding out who we're playing and start preparing. But for right now, going to get some rest, ice his ankle up and try to get it back healthy and get ready to go. But also use these days to physically recharge, but most importantly, mentally recharge as well. So, it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to the Western Conference Finals.